Hello, and welcome to
Bell on Earth.
My name is Cassidy,
My name is Casey.
and together we are the Bell Sisters. Join us each week as we corrupt your soul,
And bring you to salvation.
discussing life, death, and everything in between.
Are you afraid of getting into heaven?
Hello,
Hello
and welcome
to Bell on Earth,
the podcast.
the birthday.
Wow,
Birthday number 2 is here.
and it's queer.
Oh, it's very
Pride
queer.
Month.
It is. It's literally Pride Month.
Yeah,
Perfect.
exactly.
So, do we post this on your actual birthday or do we keep it as a Friday?
I mean, we could do either one.
Okay. I say we post this on your actual birthday.
Okay.
So, if you're hearing this, say happy birthday to Cassidy.
To me, I'm part of the 27 club now.
Yay. You're ready to die.
Yeah.
Actually, you're not part of the 27 club yet if you don't die.
Yeah. I was thinking about carrying around a white lighter, though, for the rest of the year, just in case.
Just in case. I mean, like,
Yeah. You never know what's going to happen.
yeah, exactly.
So,
Like, you have to be ready.
exactly.
Always be prepared.
Exactly. You're right.
It's necessary.
Exactly. So, what were we doing for this episode?
I mean, whatever you want, I suppose.
Okay. I guess we could just talk about me.
Yeah.
Little old me.
The same as in my episode, I guess.
Yeah, like childhood stories.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you should start since I started yours.
Do I? Honestly, like, that's the thing is that I have a poor recollection of our childhood, and I was younger.
Yeah.
So I remember less than you about anything that happened growing up.
Perfect.
But, I think, like, the first memory, like, real memory that I think I have of us was very, like, brief.
Yeah.
It was, like, literally a memory of both of us in, like, our parents' bedroom and, like, peeking around the corner into the hallway.
Mhm.
And that's it. I think we're playing, like, hide and seek or something like that.
Oh.
But the other one that I have is of the birthday party with the castle.
Oh, yeah, I don't remember that birthday, but I have like pictures of it where I remember.
I, like, only really remember, like, the castle. And then was that the same birthday that someone got hurt?
Oh, I don't know. I don't remember.
Maybe it wasn't. There was a birthday party that we had at our house that someone got, like, it was literally nothing serious. It was some kid who, like, I don't know, scratched their finger on something and started bleeding, and it was a whole thing.
I don't remember that.
I remember that.
Huh.
But that was the only thing I remember about it.
Interesting. Yeah, I do sort of remember the castle. So like, for those of you that don't know, my cousin's birthday is right before mine on June 14th. So happy birthday, Nicole, as well. My
Happy
Gemini twin.
birthday.
And so sometimes, like when we were little, we would celebrate together. It wasn't like too often, but like every once in a while, we'd have a birthday together. Just because she lived like whatever 3 or 4 hours away from us, so it wasn't like easy to coordinate necessarily. But yeah, my parents had like made this like castle like sheet board thing that went over our backyard gate. And it was like this whole thing. And then I don't remember like what the theme was other than like just plain princess.
Was that the limo party?
No, the limo party, I was 5. So my dad used to be a limo driver. And so actually, this was after he had already quit doing that, I think. But we borrowed our uncle's limo because he was also a limo driver at the time. and my mom painted all of us like shirts. And
Yes.
so we all had princesses on our shirts. So I was the only one with Cinderella. Literally everyone else got Belle, or I think that was it. I think there was like one or two Sleeping Beauties and then Belle. And then
Did
I
they
had Cinderella.
choose?
Yeah, I think my mom had like offered to like let people choose what princess they wanted, and most people chose Belle. And then I chose Cinderella. And we went in the limo and we drove to the mall and we went to go see Finding Nemo.
No, not the mall.
Yeah.
That's so
The JV
funny.
Mall, yes.
The Jefferson Valley Mall, where there
Mm-hmm.
used to be the movie theater before it got like bed bugs and was run out of business.
Condemned, yeah. Before the JV Mall was like completely condemned itself, but it's revived itself from that time.
Yeah, now it has like an Asian restaurant
Wow. Yeah, I
with
remember
outdoor
that.
seating.
Very fancy. It's a
It
very
actually, I
fancy
have
mall
been
now.
there once. It was pretty good.
Wow.
I don't remember what it was called. I don't remember anything about it, but it was pretty good.
So if you're in the Jefferson Valley area,
Yeah.
recommend the mall restaurant.
Yeah, I would.
Um,
Also, Summer's Hot Bagels is right across. Wait, is it Summer? No,
no, that's JV.
it's JV Bagels.
Yeah.
Summers is in Somers, huh? That makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah,
But the
it
JV
does.
Bagel shop is also really good.
I think Summer's Hot Bagels is better though.
Summer's Hot Bagels is better,
Yeah,
but it's okay.
it's fine.
They're New York bagels, so
True. But yeah, we went to go see Finding Nemo, and that's when it came out, was when I was 5. And it was like right
wow.
around my birthday. So I think that's why we chose to go there because it like had just come out.
Yeah,
And I
that makes
don't
sense.
remember it. Obviously, like I know the movie now because I've watched it since that movie time. But
I mean, it
I
was your birthday, you
yeah.
know.
I remember like I don't remember being in the theater and like what I thought about it.
I
So
can't believe you don't have your 5-year-old perspective
of like
of
watching
Finding
Finding Nemo. I'm
Nemo.
sure I thought it was fine.
Yeah.
I'm sure I thought it was good.
Sure, you're like, I'm glad they found him.
Yeah.
Back in my limo,
And back home.
back home.
I do remember there is one birthday where I had to invite the whole class and I wasn't friends with everyone.
Oh, it's one of
So,
those.
yeah. And so I was young. I don't remember how old I was though, but it wasn't kindergarten because that's when I went to see Finding Nemo. So I think we were in like second grade. And it was like a birdhouse painting party. Yeah, I don't know.
Where?
At the house. We had it like in the
Oh,
backyard. And I got really mad
don't
because,
remember this at all.
yeah, I like have a small recollection. And it's only because I got super mad because I was playing music that I liked and people said that it was like not good. And so so we had like one of those like plastic spinning disco balls. And then we had the music playing and then we had the birdhouses. I turned off the music and I turned off the disco ball and I walked outside and I left my own party. And then I was like crying outside and like really mad at everyone. And then I think they all just left.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I was so angry.
Which, like, you're valid for that, though.
It was my birthday. I don't care if you like the music or not.
Which, to be fair, I feel like we're now used to getting that comment.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
But
now.
not on our birthday.
Well, especially not on my birthday. Like I can play whatever the fuck I want. It's my
Yeah. There's
birthday.
also a disco ball, so, like, what does it matter?
And we were also like whatever, like 8.
Yeah, what could it possibly have been playing?
It was like one of those like now that's
Yeah.
what I call music CDs.
Yeah.
But it was like censored, I guess. So I
Oh,
don't
that's
know.
what they didn't like?
Yeah, it was something like that. But it's like I didn't buy the CD, but I liked the music on it, so I was just playing it.
Right.
Like it wasn't that serious. Maybe there was like another issue too, but I remember like that being like where I turned the music off and I turned off the disco
That was the
ball.
final straw.
Yeah, and I was
You're like, no
so
enjoyment
mad.
for anyone else.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I do not remember having a birdhouse
I don't know if you were
painting
even
party.
there, to be honest.
Probably not.
They probably like took you out of the house.
I wasn't allowed to paint any birdhouses.
No.
I love that I wasn't invited to my own siblings' party
I don't
multiple
remember.
times.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I don't remember like you being there, to be honest. So, but
What
I
are
remember being
there?
mad. That's all I really remember.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
I
makes
was
sense.
your ass. Yeah.
What other birthday parties did you have?
When I was 12, I had an ice skating party. And I think that was really like the last time I had like a party. I was 11 or 12, and we went to like the Brewster ice rink. And like, I don't think they like rented or anything. I think we all just
You just
went
went
there.
together.
Yeah, and we skated, and it was fine. I remember being fine. I don't remember me being like super angry or anything. So
That's good.
yeah.
You didn't turn off the Brewster Ice Arena music, did you?
I might have. I don't know.
If you had access, you probably would have.
Probably. Or like cut someone with my skate or something.
Literally.
I was pretty like I was always very irritated, like really easily irritated as a kid. So like while I bottled up my anger pretty like sufficiently, I guess. Like there was times where it like really came out and I lashed out like really hard at people. And it had to do with just like my mental health and everything else.
Yeah.
But
It'd be like that.
yeah. But like I also felt like so underappreciated like all the time. So like my birthday was like a really big deal to me because I was like, oh well like this is my day. Like I get to choose what I want to do and like do whatever I want. Like people are supposed to be nice to me on my birthday.
And then they're
just,
like, your music sucks.
well, yeah, it just felt like that never happened where like everyone was still always mean to me. And I was like, well, then why are you even here?
Mother made me come.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why I always hated the concept of like you have to invite everyone in the class. It's like literally no, you don't. That's so weird.
Why would I want them there if they're gonna be mean?
Yeah.
And like in elementary school specifically, I had like 5 friends I was very close with.
That's
and like
enough.
that's all I would want to be at my birthday. Like, why do I have to invite? And it was always like all the girls. But like I was friends with like a lot of guys, especially in elementary school.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, why do I want these people who are literally like being mean to me all the time?
Yeah.
But I was also like, I don't know if this is like, I don't know what it was, but I was bullied pretty heavily in elementary school, but I never knew. I did not know that they were bullying me. I just thought that they were like speaking.
I mean, they were.
Yeah. Well, no, because like I just specifically remember like at lunch, I would be reading a book and like I know exactly who I'm thinking of, but I'm not gonna say their
Name
names.
drop.
I'm sure
Wait.
they're better people now.
I want to know initials.
I don't want to say.
Whatever.
I'll tell you after.
Okay, fine.
They're probably better people now.
They're probably not. They're probably worse.
I don't know about like one, but I do know
It's
like
cause drama, Cassidy.
I follow some people on Instagram, and so like
Oh.
I know like that they have turned their life around since they bullied me in elementary school.
They've turned it like 45 degrees.
Yeah, and that's enough.
That's enough for them.
But like, well, she wasn't like the main person that was like being mean to me. She was like the sidekick.
Those are honestly worse.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah. I'll
because they're just like more pathetic. But anyway, yeah, go on.
Yeah, but like I don't know. It made sense at the time, like knowing what I know now about this person, like looking back, it makes sense because I also had traits like that where I was like a follower, and it had to do with me like being in love with my best friend. So anyway. I remember specifically I was reading The 5 People You Meet in Heaven, and they were like
not the 5 people you meet in heaven.
They were like, so what are the 5 people you meet in heaven? And I like thoroughly just explained the book and like everything that was going on. They were like, oh, and like I don't remember exactly what they were saying, but they were definitely like picking on me.
Yeah.
And I just like had no idea.
And you're just like,
it's actually a pretty good book.
Number 1.
Yeah. And like I would explain like what was going on. They were like trying to be mean, and I was like,
I love
I
that.
like this book.
That's how you beat bullies.
I know. Or I
That's so
remember,
funny.
yeah, you just be like ignorant to it all.
Literally.
Which is honestly better because at least I didn't know.
Yeah.
But then I also remember that someone said that they cursed on the playground. Like I don't know who it was, but like someone had like cursed or like used curses on the playground, but they hadn't said like curse words. They said like they were like cursing the playground or cursing, and
Like
so
like a witch's curse?
well, so from what I understand, like in reality, it was like someone just using curse words, like a child like cursing
Oh.
on the playground. But I thought it was like a curse, like someone was cursing the playground. So I thought that the playground was cursed. So I actually like avoided it for a little while because I was like, oh no, like I'm gonna fall off the monkey bars because they're cursed.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, I don't want to like hurt myself or be cursed.
You're like, I need to protect my energy.
Yeah. And I was like so into like witchy stuff and like fairy stuff and things like that. So I really believed in it.
Yeah.
And I also remember the first time that I ever put my middle finger up to someone, it's because they told me that it was a curse. And so I thought that they meant like a curse, like a witch's curse, and that's how you curse people is you use your middle finger to curse them out. So someone was being mean to me, so I pulled up my middle finger.
Put a curse on them.
Which honestly, I feel like that's worse
Yeah.
than like saying fuck you to someone.
Yeah, because like saying fuck you or like cursing them, like cursing at them is temporary.
Yeah.
But
a curse is
cursing
lifelong,
them?
if not intergenerational.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
No, that was actually pretty slay of you to have
Yeah.
put a intergenerational curse on them.
Yeah. That was me as a child.
As you should.
Yeah. Yeah, because especially then, like, I would get pretty frustrated, but I didn't know like how to like express it or how to like do anything about it. And
Right.
usually nothing was done about it. So I would either just cry or I would quote unquote put curses on people.
I feel like that's a valid way of handling it though.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're gonna do anything,
Yeah.
don't like beat them up, just put a curse on them.
True. Especially when
the
that's
most sense.
intergenerational.
Yeah.
And it's like your fault. Like, don't bully me.
Yeah. Ugly.
Yeah.
Bitch.
Ugly bitch. Yeah. What else? I also remember in elementary school, I used to play violin for like a year. And I quit because one time we were rehearsing on stage, we had the curtain drawn because
Yeah.
like there were people like using because we had the stage in the cafeteria and then the cafeteria would open into the gym.
Yeah.
So it was like one big thing, but at that point in time there was a lunch period and then there was a gym class and the gym class was divided by the wall that they like could move open or close.
It was like low-key a cool setup.
Yeah, it was like
school.
pretty decent
that, like,
for an elementary school. And then the stage was in the cafeteria part if you close the wall. And then we were in on the stage but behind the curtain. And I got so overheated that I threw up and I had to run to the nurse's office to vomit. And I like vomited in her sink. And then I quit violin.
I remember that actually.
Yeah.
Well, hearing about
and I was crying because I was like,
I mean, as you should.
Vomited.
Vomiting as a child is like such a traumatic experience.
Yeah. Even though you like do it quite often.
Why, bro? Why? Bro. And you crawl in the wires.
Hi, baby. Marty really wanted to get in on the party.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I also remember that I was one of the people that was not good at violin. This is gonna sound
Bro, all of you chill out. Okay, go on.
Okay. So there was like the main like band or like orchestra in elementary school. And then there was like me and a couple of other kids who were bad. So this is gonna sound awful. We had a concert for the special needs kids, and it was all of us who didn't know how to play violin.
These kids won't know any better.
Oh my God, it was so bad. And we had
I can't believe they made you do that.
I know. It was because it was embarrassing, not because of like who we were playing for, but like why.
Yeah.
And like the situation that we were put into.
Oh my God.
And it was like outside, and it was just this like one class, and it was just a lot. Yeah, and I that was like another.
Like, we're not even gonna take up a room for this.
Yeah, it was like at that pavilion thing that we had.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was overwhelming. Because
funny.
I think like I had only joined for 1 year, but you were able to start like earlier on.
Yeah.
So I had started like quote unquote like later than everyone else. So they like made me do this fucking concert with all the other like late starters. And like it was between that and the vomiting that I was like, I can't do this. So I joined choir after that.
You're like vomiting and special needs children. Get me out of here.
Well, yes, it was so embarrassing. It was a lot. And like again, like I really have no problem with like the special needs kids being there, but why did you make the special needs kids play for the special needs kids?
That's literally like offensive to the special needs kids. Like, why don't they deserve a full concert?
I know. Or why didn't they just go to like the main concert? And I wasn't allowed to play at the main concert.
Why were they literally subjected to like the worst of the worst?
I know.
Elementary school newbies.
Well, and like I wasn't allowed to play at the end of the year at the main orchestra concert.
Yeah, because you already played.
Yeah, outside. It was like honestly all around so offensive. I don't know why they made us
so funny.
It was like really traumatic. Yeah, so then I joined choir after that, and RIP our choir teacher. He was a good guy. But like he would spend, if choir was an hour long, he'd spend at least 35 to 40 minutes yelling at us at how bad of kids we were.
Yeah.
And like telling us that we needed to behave so that we could just get through this and like sing.
When like nothing was really happening.
No, like we were literally just being like elementary school students.
I got yelled at one time because I was looking at the window during class and I was like, oh shit. He's standing on business.
Yeah.
But yeah, RIP.
Yeah. I mean, it was definitely sad, but at the time I was like, I don't know.
No, it's just one of those things where like you could tell that he was trained for and like wanted to do more advanced music.
Yeah.
And like even if he wanted to be a teacher, it was more like college type deal.
Yeah, like
people were taking it seriously. So it's just like probably frustrating for him to be in the role that he was with like children who didn't really give a fuck. We're not really listening to him because they were there and like literally joking and playing.
Well, and also honestly, I think it does take like a very specific personality to want to teach elementary school students.
Yes.
Depends, like obviously, no matter what subject, to be honest. Like I look back at my elementary school teachers and like they were very specific type of people.
Yes.
And like you have to be that way to like deal with a shit ton of kids in your class who don't give a shit about what's going on. And like are just there to like basically play and like hang out with their friends because they're
like
8.
It's daycare. It's daycare where you have to like teach them how to survive.
Yeah.
Which is horrifying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it really does take like a certain personality. It's not something that you can just go into because you like couldn't do other teaching work.
Right.
You know?
Absolutely.
And it's very different from teaching like high schoolers or even middle schoolers. Like it like these kids are like still very, very young, you know?
Yeah.
So
100%.
Yeah. All around a sad situation. But especially for us being yelled at.
I know. Because you didn't do the like NISMA stuff, right?
No. No, I didn't.
Because it was like whatever. It was like competitive choir,
Yeah.
whatever the fuck it was. But I remember we went and did a competition and we got second place and he was mad at us because we didn't get first.
Oh my
And I
God.
was like, we tried so hard.
Oh yeah, I never did any of that shit. I did regular choir and we sang at like Christmas and then I
Yeah.
think at like the end of the year and that was it.
Yeah. That was only like, well, besides like us doing steel drums, but that was only like musical stuff that you did, right?
I mean, I did like a lot of production stuff. Like I did the I took music theory, like introduction to music theory and then AP music theory in high
Right.
school. And then I also took the like recording production class because we had like a recording production class at our high school where
Yeah.
we learned how to do like Pro Tools and stuff like that. And then yeah, I did steel drums, but oh, and I had private piano classes, and I also took like a piano class in school. But I
Yeah, I
never
remember
did
that.
like band or orchestra or choir like throughout because like I don't know. I always jumped around from thing to thing to thing because I never really had like a thing that like really held my interest long term.
Yeah.
And or I would get like bullied and I would just quit. But like especially by like coaches and stuff. Maybe I perceived it as bullying, but
I was
I
gonna say, I feel like some of it was probably not actual bullying.
yeah. Some of it was for
Oh, I'm
sure.
sure some of it.
Um Not necessarily bullying, but I just like never felt like um I just felt like very like outside as a child, I guess. Like I just felt like a giant outsider and I never really knew what was going on. And like I always felt like out of the loop. So I would just kind of like stay out of the loop and like just stay away from people and like play outside with my sticks and my dolls. I had a lot of stick
Same.
friends as a child.
That was the nice thing about like where we grew up, like
Yeah.
our house, like our property in particular, was that we number one had lots of sticks, but because we have
Yeah.
lots of woods, but we had like a decent amount of space and like a different like geographic yard to
Yeah.
be able to play different things because we had like our stream, we had the rock wall, we had grass, we had trees, like we had so much stuff out there.
Yeah. Yeah. And I had like two different houses. I think we switched houses at one point,
Yeah.
which I think we talked about in your episode.
Yeah.
But like we had these two pine trees specifically where we like set up our quote unquote like pioneer houses or whatever. And we would like sleep in them. Not really. We would just like sleep for like 5 minutes and then wake up and be
Yeah.
like, ah.
Although there was one, do you remember when I made the little quote unquote house on that weird island thing in the stream?
Oh yeah, I do
I
remember
did
that.
sleep in that one time for a couple hours. I
Yeah,
like made camp out there.
that's
I really
funny.
liked that one. But
Um,
yeah,
yeah,
we had
yeah,
fun as children,
we
like
did.
playing.
We definitely did. I remember I had this one game that I'd play by myself, and it was I was mute, and
You faked a disability?
yeah,
Oh
I
my
didn't like use any
God.
of the disabilities I already had, just like ones I
You're
didn't.
like, I need something new.
Yeah, but like my communication was through flowers. Bless you. Like the flowers could talk for me, and I would pretend that I was in like a nunnery. This was all like completely by myself. No
Yeah.
one else was playing with me. And I would run around with flowers, like with thorns on them specifically. And I'd be like, this is how I communicate, is through the flowers.
And the thorns.
Yeah, and I always had this special connection to thorns. Because I would go in, like, I would specifically go into thorn bushes to like not get pricked and like show myself that I could. Because we had like
Funny
thorn
enough, I
bushes.
did that too, actually.
Yeah, like we had thorn bushes around our house, and I would go into them and like
Yeah.
connect with the thorns.
Yeah.
And I remember one time it was at that weird camp that we went to for 2 days.
Oh dear God.
And there was like a bunch of thorn bushes where they were playing kickball or whatever. And they had kicked the ball into the thorns, and I went in and got them, and everyone yelled at me forgetting the ball because it was in the thorn bushes. And I was like, it's not that fucking
Okay,
serious.
how do we have the same memory? Because that happened when we were in elementary school and they were playing kickball at that little like by like the new like a playground.
Yeah.
They were playing kickball over there. And I went into the thorn bush and I crawled in and everyone was like amazed. I was
Oh,
like, bro, it's
everyone was
literally a
mad at me.
fucking thorn. No, well, they weren't like applauding me.
They were like,
I didn't come
wow.
out and get like awarded. But they were like, why did you go in there? There's thorns. And I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, but there was also the kickball.
Yeah. No,
And
I
I wasn't even
specifically,
playing kickball.
yeah. No, I specifically remember that this was at this camp. So I guess we just had the same experience. This is why we're like close now.
Yeah.
Because we like did
Jesus.
this stupid shit all the time.
I can't.
But no, like I remember them being so mad at me, like, why did you go in there? And I was like, because the
Because the
ball.
ball went in
Maybe
there.
it was a baseball though. I don't remember. It was a ball or like a softball, not like a small baseball. It was like it was definitely a bigger ball.
Yeah.
But I just remember it got hit in there and I was trying to be helpful.
I don't know. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
What else? Okay, I'm curious. What else do you remember from that camp?
So should we explain it a little bit?
Only a little bit.
Yes. So there's
It
like
should remain mysterious.
so there was this like summer camp that we went to for literally 2 days, but it felt like a lifetime.
But it was because our mom won it in like an auction.
Yeah. And Casey and I went to two different rooms because we were like two different ages. So I went to the like slightly older kids' room.
Yeah.
I think I must have been like 10 and you were probably like 8.
Yeah.
So I went to this room again, 2 days. I met this like girl and boy who were like best friends, and they were like kind of like the mean clique at this camp, but I was like in their group a little bit. And like I don't remember really playing with anyone, but like I was like kind of with them. I do remember like making plates or something. They weren't ashtrays because I remember specifically it wasn't an ashtray.
Could you imagine?
But we made these like little plates.
They're probably like the fucking like teacup plates.
Yeah, it was something like that, but we painted them or whatever.
Yeah.
And then we went to the pool. And I remember everyone being on their like all of the lifeguards were on their phones. Like the people supposed to be watching us.
Same.
And then I remember swimming, and you had to do a test to swim in the deep end, but we weren't there long enough where like we were gonna do that. So I just kind of swam on the shallow side. And then I remember there being like a thing where you got to meet animals and there was like a bird and I think the bird flew away.
Yeah, that was the one that I went to.
Oh, were we both there?
Yeah, I'm sure they had the same thing for both of us.
Yeah.
It's the same camp, just different like classes, basically.
Yeah, I think it was just like on rotation or whatever.
Yeah.
And then I remember the second day that I was there was this girl that came in and everyone hated her because she changed into her bathing suit outside of the bathroom. And people all were like,
what a slut.
No, like literally like in their like 10-year-old language, that's what they were saying is that she was such a whore and a slut and all this stuff. And then I like became friends with her because everyone at camp hated her.
She was like, slut?
Yeah.
Friends.
I was like,
you were the Jesus.
We relate. Yeah. So like I became friends with her and I hung out with her. And I remember like the girl and the guy who I was friends with, they were like, well, you can either be friends with us or you can be friends with her.
You're like, easy, the whore.
Yeah, that's like really what I said because I wasn't gonna be there for that long. So I was like,
I'm leaving today. I don't fucking care. I spent one day with you guys yesterday.
And it wasn't fun. They were boring people, but they were just like whatever. And then yeah, I hung out with her and we became like close. And that's like basically what I remember from that camp. That was it. Because it was only there for like 2 days, but I honestly remember being there longer.
No, the way that was such like a foundational experience for both of us, and it was literally 2 days of our lives.
I think your experience was a little bit more traumatic than mine.
True.
But I just like very specifically remember this girl that I was friends with because everyone hated her. Yeah.
Wow. The kindness of our souls
I know.
protruding at age 10.
I know. I know. I
I
was such a
can't.
kind heart.
Oh my God.
And she didn't change outside the bathroom that time. So,
No.
like, she changed in the bathroom into her swimsuit. So, it really wasn't that serious. And then, like, I don't remember if I talked to her about it or not, but I think I did. And I think that she was just, like, confused or something had happened. And then, like, I don't know. No one liked her because of this one incident.
Yeah. That's just like how kids be.
Yeah.
Because I remember, um, like at that camp, like there was a whole fucking line of kids like waiting for the bathroom because there's like one bathroom for you to change in.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure I like wrapped my towel around me and just like put my bathing suit on because like I'm not fucking waiting for this.
You were that girl.
But I didn't like undress in front of everyone. I just had my towel on.
Yeah.
I was like, this is like weird. And then I didn't even go swimming, so
I think you should tell your story, and this is my episode.
no,
I give you
no.
permission.
I feel like this is not the time and place.
Okay.
Oh,
Fair.
fucking camp.
Yeah, that camp was a lot. And we were literally only there for like a hot minute.
Yeah, that was a lot.
Yeah. And then what else do I remember from childhood? Um,
Did
I
you
don't
do any
know.
other camps?
No, I never did a camp because I like wasn't really in anything.
Mm.
Um, so so to line up my sports that I did at 6 years old, I did cheerleading, and that was horrible because they like punished us by like making us sit in the sun for like an hour.
But what?
Yeah, we did that. You not know that?
No.
Yeah, so I was like 6. I have pictures of it, so I know it was real. But
The
I
punishment?
yeah. So like, okay. And mom was like really mad about it. I'm sure we could like ask her about it, but this like I remember this happening specifically, but I took cheerleading for like a year and I was like 6 years old. And so or maybe 7. It was
Wait,
something
also,
like
was
that.
this like a separate thing or was this through the school?
It was through the school because it was like school colors and stuff.
Huh.
But we like were young. I don't know. So I was doing cheerleading and they were like, I don't know, really, really strict. And like we had to do like the cheers perfect, or they would make us sit in the sun without water. And like we had to just like sit on like, because this was it. Okay, so our middle school and high school, like they were on two sides, but they were on like the same street. And it was basically just like a street. Like the street was basically like the parking lot connection between the two schools. And then in between the two schools, in front was like the football field, and around the football field was a track. So they made us sit on the track in the sun without water if we like messed up.
What the fuck?
Yeah. And then I remember doing like cheerleading competition. I did like one, and I had to take my earrings out, but I had just gotten my ears pierced.
Yes.
So they closed like instantly. But I remember doing the cheerleading competition. I'm pretty sure we didn't win. But I remember getting a trophy
all
for
of
it.
that punishment for nothing.
Yeah, and then I told mom that they like were making us sit in the sun, and then she like told me to stop cheerleading because she didn't like that.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, and I think they like complained about it or something because you can't like
You
have
can't do
children.
that.
Like we were little, like little.
I mean, you can't do that to anyone, but especially not 6-year-old children.
Well, like I'm just saying it's more dangerous for kids.
Well, yeah, of course.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
It's fucked up.
And it was like summertime when we were doing this. Like this was
Yeah.
in between school years. Like I wasn't going in the school year.
Right.
So, because I think that's when they were coaching like the older kids, and then like the younger kids were just doing like the summertime stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I did that, and then after that, I did basketball at the YMCA, and it was me. I was the tallest kid there, and I was also the only girl.
Wait, this was at the YMCA.
Yeah, I took 2 different courses at the YMCA.
Was it like a league or
No,
like a class?
it was like a class, but I did it for like a certain amount of time.
Interesting.
But yeah, I learned basketball and it was me and a bunch of small
You
boys.
got like your like certification in
Yeah, I
basketball.
think I did get like a certification or something, or like a trophy or medal or
Right, like a
whatever.
little award.
Yeah. But yeah, it was just like a short summer class, I think. I
That's
don't
so
remember like
funny.
correctly, but I remember doing all these. They must have been like over the summer that I just did stuff. But like, yeah, I took basketball. It was literally me and a bunch of little boys, and I was the tallest person there. Because I was like a year older, but also like at that time, like you just grow so fast.
Yeah.
So I was the tallest one. I like was okay. And then like that ended. And then the next summer, because I must have been 7 there, and then like at 8 or 9, I did swimming classes, and it was me and 2 boys. And I was like the class clown, and like I got yelled at a lot by the instructor.
The class of three.
Yeah, it was just me and 2 other boys. And I would like do things to make them laugh. And then the instructor would get really mad at me because I like wasn't taking it seriously.
I mean,
But it was like
it's
me
kind of
and
hard too.
yeah, we were like friends.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, it was whatever. And I learned to swim, I guess. So
Yeah, that's good.
yeah. Um, and then yeah, and I think like that was like the one teacher where they were like, you have to talk to your daughter about her behavior and blah blah. Because I was a really good student and like a decent kid in like school, but I don't know like what
But
it
when it came
was.
to swimming,
I don't know what
off
it
the
was with the
chain.
swimming. Yeah, but I was like really annoying. And then after that is when I played soccer. Um, and I hated that. I hated soccer.
But it's funny because I remember like we were in the car or something like that. And like one of our parents was like, "Oh, like Cassidy wants to ask you something." And I was like, "What?" And then you were like sobbing because you thought I was gonna be mad because like I played soccer growing up and I like did it competitively and everything.
Yeah.
And then you were like sobbing because you thought that I'd be mad because you wanted to play soccer. And I was like, I really don't care. And
Yeah,
then you hated it anyway and played one season.
yeah. Well, it was because it was too hot outside and I didn't like running around.
What did you think soccer was?
Well, I just wanted to try it out.
Cute.
Yeah. Um
It
and
was
then
annoying when it was hot though.
yeah. Well, and also like I liked being defense. I was not an offender. And I really wasn't good at goalie, but I was good at defense. And then also like because I again like I didn't stick with anything. So like when I joined, I was always behind everyone because
Especially
everyone
when you get older.
yeah, everyone had already been playing for a decent amount of time at that point. Like most people play soccer throughout their like elementary to middle school, and like sometimes they'll go into high school, sometimes they won't. But like usually people stick to like one sport over time, and I
Right.
never did that. So I was always behind in everything that I did. So I didn't know any of the rules when it came to soccer. So I was always being yelled at because I didn't know the rules and I would like kick people.
All right. Well,
Well, I didn't. Oh no, no. Okay, so like what had happened was the goalie caught the ball, and I thought that if I kicked it out of their hands, I could score, and I couldn't do that.
Cassie, there are like three like basic rules to soccer. You don't even have to know like offsides or anything. If the ball is over the lines, it's out of bounds. If it's in the goalie's hands, it's the goalie's ball. And don't use your own hands.
Well, I got don't use your own hands. The other ones I did not get.
Were you like running across the field after the ball?
No, I
Like
don't
it's
remember.
like it's literally like in the parking lot, and you're like, "Don't worry, guys, I got it."
It's still in bounds. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. I'm not defending myself. I'm just saying what
You weren't
happened.
defending a lot, huh?
Yeah, I think after I did that is when they just kept me on defense, and I was fine. Like I
Cassie can't be trusted. You're gonna get carded.
yeah, I liked defense. Oh, and then that was another time where I got yelled at because we had oranges as you do at like a soccer game,
Yeah.
and like us like my team like went up into the shade to like eat it because at the soccer field we were at, it was all cleared obviously for the field, but then it had like a forest kind of next to it. So we went into the forest where there was shade to eat the oranges, and then we sat on a wasp like burrow, and everyone like was screaming and running and sprinting, and I just took the oranges calmly, stood up and walked out, and I was the only person that didn't get stung, and everyone yelled at me.
Okay, this is a situation. I don't think that they yelled at you. I don't believe that that memory is true.
And everyone clapped.
Like, do you hear yourself?
But I remember
I didn't get stung. I moved the oranges and they yelled at me. Like, in what world would that make sense?
well, I think it was like
I think they were probably like concerned and you were like aggressive.
I was a very sensitive kid, okay? Anyone rose their voice at me and I was crying.
Oh my god.
But yeah, like I don't remember anyone being like necessarily mad, but I just remember walking so calmly, and it was like I was at war because there was people with like on the ground and
Like
sobbing.
ambulance sirens in the background.
Yeah, no, like literally,
Bombs
it was like
going off.
it was like it was like people were on the ground and they were like having like
my
ice applied
God.
to their leg, but like the way that their leg was out was so dramatic. And like I just remember walking past all of it with the oranges, and it was like a lot. It was a really defining memory.
To be fair, I do remember when I was in elementary school, there was like a kid that like lived, he was like in my grade who like lived basically behind our elementary school.
Yeah.
And he had like, I think like he had the dogs or they were watching, there were some dogs. And the dogs had like escaped the property and like ran over to our school.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah. And then like everyone started freaking out and running up the hill. And I was like, I mean, I own dogs. So I was like, well, if I run, they're just gonna fucking chase me. And the dog, like, I could tell was friendly. So I just like stood there, let them pet or let them sniff me and just like walked away. But then like the monitor was so mad. She was like, why did you stay down there with the dog? And I was like, did you want me to like run and be tackled and mauled? Like, what was my other option?
Yeah.
The dog is faster than a 6-year-old. I promise you that.
Yeah, we tested it.
Yeah.
Like multiple times with our own dog.
Exactly. Yeah, we raced.
Yeah.
But then I think I like mom yelled at me because the next day I wanted to like bring treats.
Yeah. Well, those dogs were over at the school all the time.
Yeah.
Like they were always getting out. It was kind of a problem.
Yeah, it was kind of a problem.
Yeah.
Because like thank God they were like friendly dogs, but it's also like you can't have dogs running around a bunch of children.
Well, also your dog should not be escaping your property like constantly.
Yeah.
Like just
just in general.
Yeah. And then also to like have an elementary school right next to your house and your dogs are just escaping to the elementary school because you don't know like if a kid is allergic.
Right.
Or if your dog is gonna bite because like kids are running around.
Like nice dogs, like if your child is like touching them like roughly, you're pulling at them or whatever it is.
Yeah. Like yeah, you don't know what could happen. Like that's like
no,
issue.
It's a huge liability.
And those dogs were always over at the school.
Yeah.
It was so weird.
It was kind of bad.
Yeah.
But yeah. I don't know if the oranges thing you were being disciplined for.
I didn't mean that I was
knows?
being disciplined. But yeah, like I just remember that I was the only one that didn't get stung.
Wow. Good for you.
Yeah. It was a defining memory for me. And then after that, I did Taekwondo, which I really liked Taekwondo.
Oh, I forgot about Taekwondo.
Oh, I also forgot about gymnastics. I did gymnastics for a little while.
Oh, yeah. That was
I
like
liked gymnastics a lot.
Was that before or after cheerleading? Or like around the same time?
It was after cheerleading. I think it might have been like because I quit cheerleading, so I went to gymnastics. So I was very little. I was probably like 7 or 8, and I did it for like 2 years. And I really liked gymnastics, but it just got expensive, so I quit.
It was a lot.
Yeah, that's fair. And they like were honest with me about it, and we're just like, we can't really afford this. Someone else had offered to pay, but I just like didn't like even as like a child, I didn't want to be like um indebted to someone. So I was just like, no, it's fine. I'll just quit. And then I think that must have been when I did like those summer classes with like basketball and swimming.
Mhm.
And then I did soccer, and then I did taekwondo. I did taekwondo in middle school, and that was really fun. I really liked it, but it was like one of those things where I think, um, like things just got like kind of hectic and busy, and so I just like quit at some point.
You did it for a decent amount of time though, right?
It was
How
like
long was
two
it?
years or
Yeah.
3 years. I got to like blue belt, which,
Wow.
yeah, I don't remember the colors to be honest, but I know it was like in the middle to like higher
Yeah.
end. But I also think I quit because I don't know, it's just like a high school and I was like, I don't know, I just don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
Um,
That's fair.
but yeah, I think I did it all throughout middle school,
Yeah.
if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I remember it being like a pretty long time.
Yeah. And like that helped a lot. It was just like something to like do, and I liked it because it wasn't a team sport, but you were still around people,
Yeah.
which was like what I liked about gymnastics too. Like I'm just not like a team person, but I do really well with like individual sports. So I liked that one. And then yeah, going into high school, I just did like drama company and um like steel drums and what else? I think that like was it. Like I didn't do any sports or anything in high school.
I feel like we didn't have time really to do sports in high school.
No, and they were also like different in high school because you had like varsity and like the like
Yeah.
upper echelon leagues, which I was like I couldn't even play at like 10 or whatever.
Because
So
that was like when I like when my like soccer team kind of fell apart because everyone did like other stuff or like the team the school team and stuff like that.
yeah.
Even I was like I wanted to continue soccer, but I was like, I'm not gonna join the fucking school soccer team. Everyone who was
Yeah.
on it, I just did not like either.
Yeah.
I was like, I just don't want to do that.
And it's like a more intense schedule and everything
Yes.
else. And like a lot of those kids are playing for like scholarships and stuff to go to college.
Right.
And like actual like championships and things like that. So it's just like a lot more intense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
But
lot.
yeah, I like never played sports in high school. My sport was being a loser and like drinking.
Sport is alcoholism.
Yeah, yeah, basically.
Developing disorders.
Yeah, having mental illness. That
Yeah.
kept me skinty.
I feel like that in itself takes up a lot of your time anyway.
Yeah, I was like crying a lot in high school, so I didn't really have time.
That's a good amount of calories.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember in high school, I was thinking about this last night. I was like crying like a lot. Like I would cry in class, I would cry in the hallways, I would cry in the bathrooms. Like
There are plenty of places to cry in that
I
building.
was always crying. And like no one asked me if I was okay. Like
No.
like adult wise, I guess. Like my friends and like people in my class would ask me if I was okay and stuff like that. I remember one teacher ever asking if I was okay, and it was like me and Kyle from Humble Superstar to shout out and also call
Shout
out.
out. Oh my God.
But we were in class together, and the teacher had asked us to stay after, and he like got down and like squatted in front of us, and he was like, are you guys okay? And we were like,
I
yeah.
know who you're talking about too.
Yeah. And we were like, yeah, we're fine. Like, what's up? And he was like, you guys just don't seem okay. And we were like, no,
Like,
we're
what
fine.
would make you think that?
Yeah. No, and like Kyle's coming in hungover
Yeah.
late every day. And then I would sit there and be like dying and like depressed.
Like bags under everyone's eyes.
Yeah. Yeah, we looked
Pale.
awful. Like we
Malnourished.
I think we all really grew into ourselves like after high school because we looked
Yeah.
awful in high
Yeah.
school. Like
It didn't stop us
no,
from doing anything.
no, it definitely didn't stop us ever, but we looked awful. And like, yeah, he like literally was like, well, if there's anything you ever need, just like let me know. And we're like, thanks.
Thank
And we
you.
left and we're like, That's so funny.
I can't believe that just happened.
Yeah. Even though it should have happened sooner.
That was the only intervention anyone had.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty funny.
Wow.
Yeah.
Shout out the one teacher who cared.
Yeah.
There were like very few teachers in that school who like actually gave a shit about the students.
Yeah.
Sadly.
Yeah. As we like discussed a couple episodes back.
Yeah.
But it's fine.
We're here.
Yeah, we're here,
okay.
queer. We're out finally.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Thank God.
Yeah. But yeah, that was pretty funny. And then music wise, I did violin, and then I did choir, and then I did piano, and then I took I don't want to say like guitar slash bass lessons, but I basically had them like unofficially. And then steel drums was like the only thing. Like it was like with dad sometimes. Like he would try to teach me, and then like I went to like one or two classes at that music store. But like it like I couldn't get past like the fact that it like really hurt my fingers. So I just like stopped doing that because it like if you don't build up those calluses, it like really hurts. And I just like couldn't do it.
Yeah.
So yeah. But yeah, it was like kind of like I tried, but I just didn't. And then yeah, steel drums. Steel drums I stuck with for 10 years. Right? Because I was 11.
Middle and high school, right?
Yeah. I guess was like 11 or 12 when I started. I think I was 12 when I started because I think I came in again like late, but I did stick with steel drums for a long time. So maybe like 7 years. Because yeah, I was like 12 and then to 17. I did that. That's not 7 years. That's 5 years. Yeah.
Like the math is not mathing.
Yeah. But I did it like throughout middle and high school.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I also like helped do like assistant teaching and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which was super fun. Yeah. I always like was able to do like the stuff that was like weird and like most people weren't doing or into.
Yeah.
That was the stuff that I like to do.
Someone's got to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, like those were all like my musical stuff. And yeah, I like it was really hard for me, especially as like a kid, to like stick with anything. I don't know like necessarily why.
You did that like sewing after school class for a little bit.
Oh yeah, I did do that too. And I made a bunch of stuff. But I think it was like canceled the next year or something. So that's why I didn't do it.
It was like elementary school.
Or no. I must have been in 5th grade when I did it. So I was like 10. So I think I couldn't do it the next year anyway.
Oh.
It was something like that. Because I do remember going into my 5th grade class with my stuff on. So I must have been 10 and like graduated after that. But I like the sewing class a lot. And I still like sewing. And I do like a lot of hand sewing and stuff. I would love to get into like embroidery or something, but you know, I'm just too poor to have hobbies right now.
Yeah.
Hopefully this podcast blows up. Yeah, sponsor us so I can have hobbies.
We can embroider.
Yeah.
No, literally.
Embroider your face onto a pillow.
That is like honestly what we need from this podcast. Is just enough to sustain our life.
Yeah.
Not our like bills, but like outside of that.
Yeah, like our hobbies. Because I like have a lot of like interests. I just don't have any money to support it.
Yeah.
You know?
And I feel like it's one of those things where like even if you make your own little business, like you need money to start that.
Yeah. You need seed money.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Someone give us their seed.
Yeah, sure.
Someone will.
No,
not the one that we want.
No, not like the person we're
gonna get an email.
Yeah, we're gonna get an email.
Oh my god.
But yeah, I did do like a lot of like little things. I also remember like volunteering a bunch. Like I did TOPS, which was like soccer and basketball for like developmentally like disabled children. Like it wasn't just like special needs and stuff. It was like kids who I don't know, just like all different types of kids, and we'd like play soccer.
That
And
was
I
fun,
had one
though.
that what?
That was fun.
Yeah, it was fun. I had one kid that like liked me a little too much, and he would always put his head into my crotch, and I was like, please don't do this.
I think I remember that.
Yeah, but I liked it. It was still really fun. I had like friends and stuff. And then I also did it like with like my friends, like Kyle and whatever.
Yeah.
That was always fun. I don't know. That was me as a child. I was just like weird and like I didn't know what was going on ever.
A common theme for us.
Yeah.
Weird and don't know what's
This
going
is
on.
why
But do our own
like,
thing anyway.
Yeah. That's why I'm like, am I autistic? But like
I think
I
we're
don't
just
know.
unique.
Yeah, I think we're just really special.
I think we just like have personality.
Yeah, that's
We'll
yeah.
call it that.
We'll call it personality. We're not boring for sure.
No.
So
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I don't need like a diagnosis to tell me that I'm really hot and cool and sexy,
Yeah.
even as a child.
Well, that's the thing is that like for us at least, I feel like it doesn't matter if we're autistic or not.
No.
Because we don't like need like help with it.
I don't need validation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I don't need it so that I can get like disability.
Yeah,
in
or
certain
like
ways.
drugs or anything.
Yeah, well.
Well, like not like a prescription.
Yeah, we don't need like prescriptions and like whatever.
Yeah, it's just not for me.
Yeah. Yeah, we can do without.
Yeah.
We
We'll be
survive.
fine. Yeah. We just like create our own little world and like exist within it and we're happy there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's all we need.
Exactly. That's why I just always perceive everyone as yelling at me.
You don't know that that's the healthy way of coping.
It's fine.
But if it works for you, who am I to judge?
It's my birthday.
True.
So,
Do you want me to yell at you too?
no.
Okay.
It's not like I like it. I just perceive my reality that way, and I don't think you should disrupt my perception.
I don't think that I can, actually.
Yeah, a lot of people have tried. It's never succeeded.
Yeah, I think that's pretty set in stone.
Yeah.
There's
My
not
frontal
much changing
cortex
it.
is developed already. There's nothing more I can do.
Yeah, exactly. There's no drugs that could help that.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's no mushroom that could rewire.
They've tried.
They have
It
tried.
hasn't worked.
It rewired it in the wrong way.
Yeah.
He's a poor electrician.
It made me believe that I could be a podcaster, so
True.
yeah.
But I mean, technically, like, here we are.
Here we are. Working it.
Yeah. We didn't ever say we're going to be successful in it.
Yeah, at least we have a cool logo and like a good theme.
Exactly.
So yeah.
Well,
So if you want to tell us how amazing and perfect and amazing and perfect we are and
one
how
of
cool and
those.
sexy, yeah, you can let us know and tell me happy birthday.
Yes. Wish Cassidy a happy birthday.
Yeah, and hopefully I'll make it through the year. We'll just have to see. But if I don't, I'll have a white lighter in my
I was
pocket,
gonna say,
so.
everyone keep their white lighters on them.
Yeah.
In celebration.
Yeah. Exactly. In celebration.
Light one up.
Yeah.
Light your white lighter up for the white light in your life.
That was pretty good.
I know, I tried.
Yeah.
It was off the top of my head.
Wow. Amazing.
So with that, I think there's one thing more to say. Bye.
Bye.
And happy birthday.
Thanks. Thank you for listening to Bell on Earth, the podcast. We hope that your minds have been expanded and your pussies have been opened.
Be sure to rate and follow the show on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Amazon Music.
This podcast is brought to you by Free Studio Productions. It's hosted and produced by Cassidy and Casey Bell. Big thanks to our executive producer, Derek Benton.
Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook for all of your content needs. See you later, haters.